Morning. Yeah, so I've been meaning to get a video out to user community because I know everybody's anxiously awaiting the Android. So apologize, it's been a week delayed or whatever. So we've got lots of good news to report. Finally got past a couple roadblocks. So what I'm going to show you is just what we're hoping to put out in a test build, hopefully in the next week or so, for people to begin helping us test the Android client. We're going to start with a real simple one that just lets you authorize Strive AI, and then view your home screen, which this is what I'm going to demo today, which has at the top just your Strava profile, your name, your profile pic, your weight that's in Strava, and your FTP, cycling FTP that's in Strava. We don't have the toggle between watts per kilogram and watts turned on yet, but that'll be there, so you'll be able to do that easily in the settings. Maybe we'll get it in there before we ship it, because I know a lot of people prefer to see just watts over watts per kilogram. After you have your profile, you have sort of what Strive AI estimates your FTP for each of the things you train with. I haven't been running, so my running FTP isn't here, but yeah, so it basically uses some standard Training Peaks formulas to calculate these. Then we have the trends, which is essentially a moving average, 7-day moving average, and then the actual values. In this case, for 60-minute heart rate, looks like I follow three metrics: 30-second bike power, 60-minute heart rate, and 20-minute bike power. And again, it's displayed by default for power and watts per kilogram. We'll have that turned on to where you can look at just watts. The fitness section is, really representing the same information you see on the trend, but just really what is your current peak. And, the icon over here, if it's a PR, that means it is a fresh peak. If it's a second place, it means that your best peak has aged out, and something that wasn't your best is now your best, and so on and so forth. So if you see a downtrend logo, that means you've actually you've started to go backwards on your fitness. Then we have the insights. Same controls we have in iOS. It's basically just a little web view that shows you, an icon and then a quick message about the insight. In this case, it's telling me I set a new FTP, which my power meter was reading high. So no, unfortunately, I didn't set a new FTP. Good news is I did get a anomaly on the power for 1 minute, so it did see that it was a little off. We just haven't turned that logic on yet. But you have a little button to dismiss it, a little button to give thumbs up or thumbs down, which is kind of a great way for us to kind of keep track of, what insights are, good for you, which ones are not. And we'll probably start to, do some things as a result of the feedback we get there. This doesn't do anything right now. The intent of it will be to have help for each specific insight in the system. And we haven't turned that on for either iOS or Android yet. And you can see this is an indication that I have 4 insights available. So in this case, it was telling me I set a new 20-minute bike power. This one was for real. And then, So it's pretty simple. If you want to pull down to refresh, similar to the iOS, let me see if I can show you how that works. If I pull down, it should, go back to the 60 minutes. So it kind of refreshes the screen. It re-gets the data. Some of the things we've had to solve is how to do caching, because there's a lot of going back and forth to the server is a little bit chatty. So we elect to use caching. So usually most web calls are like cached for like a minute. So things like if you want to see a new ride, right, you have to wait a minute after it uploads, right, if you just recently uploaded, that type of thing. And then there is help, just like we have in iOS for the home screen. I'm not sure I like this experience 100% yet. Just still trying to find out exactly what the Android style guidelines really suggest you do. But so this is just taking over the whole screen and letting you scroll through the whole help. And then if you want to dismiss it, it's kind of a pull down and then hit this little back button, and that sends you back to the home screen. You might notice that the menu is a little different. Obviously, this is sort of the way Android likes to do things, which I actually prefer it. You get way more real estate. If I click here, I get the full menu. And, basically our intent is we'll ship a test build once we get the notifications added in. Now that we've got login, we've got the home, all the functionality from home, we got the caching, we got some pretty robust error handling integrated with our Sentry system that tells us when bad things are happening. And then we'll just do one of these at a time for the main screens and just drop a new build. Hopefully, I think we can usually get one view done per week. It's sort of what happened on iOS. Now that we've got a platform, a starting place to move from. So, and we'll see. We may change this around a little bit, but that's the intent. And so it's just a little bit, you don't have a tab model on the bottom. You have the menu, and it'll just tell you which one you're here. And this will be a menu that's more context specific for that screen. So still trying to figure out how to do log out. So once you log in, you can never log out, which we'll fix that eventually. Anyway, thanks for listening, and hopefully the Android users will be happy very soon. Thanks.